If you're here now, it isn't coincidence. Something within you knew that you needed to stop, that you needed to listen. Not tomorrow, not when everything had been sorted, but now, in this precise moment when the weight feels far too great. I know how you've arrived here, weary from carrying what you shouldn't, weary from trying to understand where it all became so heavy, weary perhaps even of yourself. And I need to tell you something with absolute clarity. You haven't failed. You're not behind. And you've never been alone in this. What you feel now isn't the end of anything. It's a calling. And you've already answered. You're here. For decades, perhaps, you've learnt to carry responsibilities, expectations, disappointments that weren't even yours. Carry the weight of being strong for others, of keeping everything together, of never falling apart. And no one taught you there was another way. No one told you that releasing isn't giving up, that resting isn't failing, that admitting vulnerability isn't losing dignity. Quite the opposite. It's reclaiming it, because what you've been carrying was never your true burden. It was the burden you accepted in order to belong, to be loved, to prove your worth. But worth never needed proving. It was already there, always has been. How many times have you tried to mend yourself? How many books? How many promises of fresh starts? How many nights wondering where you went wrong? And what if there's nothing to mend? What if everything you've called a mistake, a weakness, an imperfection, was simply life happening through you, exactly as it should? There's a profound difference between growing and trying to fix. Growing is expansion. Fixing is struggle. And you've struggled quite enough. What's being asked now isn't more effort. It's surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of one who finally understands. I needn't be different from what I am to deserve peace. Beneath all the roles you've performed, parent, professional, carer, the one who always resolves things, there's something that's never changed. Something that was there when you were a child. Something that remains untouched, even now. It isn't a memory. It isn't an identity. It's a presence. Quiet, constant, patient. It's the silent observer that witnessed everything, the joys, the losses, the fears, and was never destroyed by any of it. Because it couldn't be. Because it existed before all of it. That presence is you, not the you the world knows, but the you that's always been free, even when you didn't realize, and it's here now, waiting for you to remember. Returning to oneself isn't a journey forward, it's a movement inward, downward, towards the center. It's discovering that what you sought out there, approval, security, purpose, could only be found where it's always been, within, not as concept, but as living experience. And when you return, something remarkable happens. There's no judgment waiting for you, no list of failures, nothing to prove. There's simply space, space to breathe, space to be exactly who you are in this moment, with all your humanity, your doubts, your hidden tenderness. And in that space, for the first time in a very long while, you can rest. Not because everything's resolved, but because you've understood it needn't be. You needn't do anything with this message. Needn't transform it into immediate action, into another promise, into yet another transformation project. Simply allow it to rest within you, like a seed, quiet, unhurried, because true change doesn't come from effort, it comes from recognition, and recognition cannot be forced. It happens when you're ready, and something tells me you are, not because you've reached the end of something, but because you're finally allowing a new beginning to happen, not out there, but here, now, within you.